The ripple effect, how one decision can shake the global economy. In today's hyper-connected world, the choices made in one corner of the globe can send shockwaves across continents, affecting millions of lives in ways both seen and unseen. In our interconnected world, a single economic decision can trigger a tsunami of consequences. The movement of goods, services, and capital is so tightly woven that even a small change can set off a chain reaction. Imagine a stone dropped into a still pond. The circles expand, touching every edge. Each ripple represents a new consequence, reaching further than we might expect. A trade policy, like a new tariff, can mean job losses in one country. Factories may slow production, workers may face layoffs, and entire industries can be thrown into uncertainty, and higher prices in another. Everyday essentials, from groceries to gasoline, can suddenly become more expensive, squeezing household budgets and changing spending habits. These are not abstract theories, they're real impacts felt in factories and homes worldwide. Families gather around kitchen tables worrying about bills, while workers wonder if their jobs are secure. The global economy is a delicate web, each thread a transaction or partnership. Every deal, every handshake, every shipment forms part of this intricate system. Pull one thread too hard, and the whole structure trembles. The balance is fragile, and disruptions can quickly spiral out of control. Today, a proposed 25% tariff on Japanese automobiles and parts has sent shockwaves through the international community. This single policy has the power to reshape industries, alter trade balances, and test diplomatic relationships. This isn't just about cars, it's about the principles of global trade that have shaped our world. Stock markets react, investors reconsider, and businesses everywhere brace for change. The policy forces us to confront tough questions. Do we shield our industries, protecting local jobs and businesses from foreign competition, or do we open our doors wider, striving to thrive through open competition and innovation? The answer isn't simple, and the debate is fierce. Behind every statistic is a human story, a family's budget, a community's future. When factories close or prices rise, it's not just numbers on a chart, it's real people facing real challenges. As we explore the fallout, remember, the ripples from this decision are just beginning to spread. The effects will continue to unfold, touching lives and shaping economies in ways we can only begin to imagine. The stakes could not be higher. The world is watching, and the outcome of this single decision may define the future of global trade for years to come. From importers to insiders, Toyota and Honda's American journey. This is the story of how two Japanese automakers not only entered the US market, but became an essential part of the American automotive landscape, transforming themselves from foreign newcomers into household names. Toyota and Honda's story in America began with small, fuel-efficient cars in the late 1950s and 60s. At a time when American roads were dominated by large, gas-guzzling vehicles, these compact imports offered something different: affordability, practicality, and impressive fuel economy. Once seen as novelties, these cars gained popularity after the oil crises of the 1970s for their reliability and efficiency. As gas prices soared and shortages hit, American drivers turned to Toyota and Honda for solutions, sparking a shift in consumer preferences that would last for decades. The real transformation came when both companies decided to build cars in America, for Americans. This bold move signaled a long-term commitment to the US market, and marked the beginning of a new era in American manufacturing. Honda opened its first US plant in Ohio in 1982, Toyota followed in Kentucky in 1988. These milestones were more than just business decisions. They were historic moments that brought new jobs, technology, and opportunities to American communities. These weren't just assembly lines, they were massive investments in American land, labor, and technology. State-of-the-art facilities introduced advanced manufacturing techniques, blending Japanese precision with American ingenuity. Over decades, Toyota and Honda have become deeply integrated into the US economy. Their presence has helped shape the modern American auto industry, influencing everything from design to production standards. They now operate numerous plants and R&D centers employing over 100,000 Americans. These facilities are hubs of innovation where local talent collaborates to develop the next generation of vehicles. Their economic footprint extends to hundreds of US-based suppliers and thousands of dealerships nationwide. This vast network supports small businesses and strengthens local economies from coast to coast. For every factory job, several more are created in supporting industries. From parts manufacturing to logistics and shipping, the ripple effect of Toyota and Honda's investments is felt across countless sectors. These companies are now pillars of local economies across the Midwest and South. In many towns, Toyota and Honda are among the largest employers, supporting schools, infrastructure, and community programs. Toyota and Honda are no longer just Japanese brands. They're American manufacturers, employers, and community partners. Their employees volunteer locally, and their investments help build stronger, more vibrant communities. Their journey is a testament to global integration, showing how international collaboration can drive innovation, create jobs, and build lasting connections between nations. The 25% question: justifying a controversial tariff. Proponents argue the tariff protects American industries and workers, citing national security and economic fairness. They see reliance on foreign manufacturing as a strategic vulnerability. The tariff is framed as a corrective measure to rebalance trade and encourage domestic production. Supporters claim it will bring jobs back and revitalize the U.S. auto industry. The goal: make imported vehicles more expensive, pushing companies to build and source more in America. In this view, the tariff is a tough but necessary defense of national interests. The dominoes fall impact on automakers and American jobs. A 25% tariff on Japanese auto parts would hit Toyota and Honda's U.S. factories hard. Their cars, though assembled here, rely on global supply chains. Many critical parts come from Japan. The tariff would raise production costs dramatically, forcing tough choices: absorb losses, raise prices, or cut expenses. This could threaten future investments and even the viability of American plants. The pressure would quickly translate into job risks for over 100,000 American workers. Plants in Kentucky, Ohio, and Alabama could face layoffs or closures. The impact would ripple out to hundreds of suppliers and local businesses. A single policy aimed at protecting jobs could end up destroying them across the auto ecosystem. The domino effect would devastate communities built around these factories. The fallout would be swift and severe. For the average American family, the most immediate and noticeable impact of a 25% auto tariff would be felt right at the dealership, where dreams of a new car often begin. Suddenly, the process of shopping for a vehicle would become more stressful and uncertain. New car prices would jump sharply. Analysts estimate that a US-built Toyota Camry, for example, could cost $1,800 to $2,000 more than before. And that's just one model. The price hikes would ripple across the entire market. This isn't just about Japanese brands or foreign automakers. Every car company, whether domestic or international, would feel less pressure to keep prices competitive. The result? A market where sticker shock becomes the new normal. The result? Higher prices across the board, making new cars less affordable for everyone. Families who once planned to upgrade may now have to reconsider or delay their purchase. Consumers would also face fewer choices, as some models could be discontinued or features reduced to cut costs. Dealerships might offer a smaller selection, and the variety that buyers once enjoyed could shrink dramatically. Popular imports not built in the US might disappear from the market entirely, leaving loyal fans of those vehicles with no options. The loss of these models would be felt by many who rely on their reliability and value. Used car prices would rise too, as more buyers turn to the secondhand market in search of affordability. Increased demand for used vehicles would push prices up, making even older cars more expensive. For many Americans, a car isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for work, school, and daily life. Higher costs mean a heavier financial burden on millions of households, forcing tough choices and tighter budgets. The dream of owning a new, reliable car would slip further out of reach for countless families, turning what was once an exciting milestone into a source of stress and disappointment. The financial strain wouldn't be limited to a single city or state. The impact would be felt nationwide, touching communities large and small, and reshaping the American car buying experience for years to come. Industry experts, economists, and business groups overwhelmingly oppose the proposed tariff. Organizations like the Alliance for Automotive Innovation warn tariffs are taxes on consumers that will harm the U.S. economy. Studies project the loss of over 360,000 American jobs and a $30 billion hit to GDP. The modern auto industry is globally integrated. Disrupting supply chains would shatter competitiveness. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce argues the tariff would invite retaliation, hurting American exporters in other sectors. Even auto dealers warn of higher prices, lower sales, and potential dealership closures. The consensus: this policy would punish American workers and consumers, not protect them. The risks far outweigh the benefits. The economic consequences are severe, but the diplomatic fallout could be just as damaging. The US-Japan alliance is a cornerstone of peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific. A punitive tariff would be seen as a hostile act, straining a vital partnership. Japan could retaliate with tariffs on American goods, hurting US farmers and businesses. The damage would extend beyond Japan, signaling to other allies that US partnerships are conditional. Allies might hedge their bets, reducing reliance on the US and eroding American influence. Using national security as a justification for tariffs on a close ally is fraught with contradiction. It risks alienating a nation that hosts US troops and supports regional security. Instead of strengthening security, the policy could fracture alliances that underpin America's global strategy. The diplomatic cost could be lasting and profound. The tariff debate forces America to choose between protectionism and global engagement. Protectionism promises to shield industries and create jobs by raising barriers like tariffs. It appeals to those seeking to revive American manufacturing and reduce foreign dependence, but it risks isolating the US and undermining global partnerships. Global engagement, on the other hand, sees prosperity in open markets and strong alliances. It values competition, innovation, and expanding export markets. This path means investing in American workers and leading in global economic rules. Companies like Toyota and Honda are not just competitors, they're major US employers and investors. America's economic health is tied to global partnerships and the rules-based system it helped build. The choice will define the nation's future. We stand at a crossroads, and the decision on this tariff will echo for years. This isn't just about taxing foreign cars, it's about unraveling decades of economic integration. Hundreds of thousands of American jobs, from factories to dealerships, are at risk. Consumers face higher prices and fewer choices, making reliable transportation less accessible. Industry experts warn of economic slowdown and lost competitiveness. Diplomatically, the fallout could strain alliances and erode US leadership. The nation must choose: wall off the economy or embrace global engagement and collaboration. The central question is what kind of economic future we want to build. Do we see strength in isolation or in partnership? The future of the American auto industry and much more hangs in the balance.